Halt! Do not move another inch. Do not let your thumb flick past this frequency, for this is not a random occurrence in your feed, nor is it a mere coincidence of an algorithm. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the voice that spoke the stars into existence, and I am speaking directly into the silence of your soul at this very moment. This is a divine appointment, a sacred interception of your path. If you have been searching for a sign, if you have been whispering into the dark, wondering if anyone hears you, this is my answer. I am commanding you to stop and listen, for the words I speak today are not for the world, but specifically for you, my weary warrior. This is not a message of entertainment or a fleeting thought to be consumed and forgotten. It is a decree from the throne of heaven, a sovereign mandate issued to pull you out of the quicksand of your current season. Your presence here was ordained before the foundations of the world were laid, and the fact that your ears are hearing my voice right now is proof that my mercy has found you once again. You must understand the gravity of this moment, my child. This is a warning frame, a protective boundary I'm drawing around your life. For too long, you have flirted with the edges of the shadows, allowing the voices of the world and the whispers of the enemy to drown out my steady rhythm. If you choose to ignore this call, if you treat this message as just another video to scroll past, you are leaving your gates unguarded. I tell you with the urgency of a father protecting his own, if you turn away now, the darkness you have been trying so hard to escape, the heaviness in your chest, the cloud over your mind, the spiritual exhaustion that drains your bones, will find its way back into the cracks of your armor. I am holding the door open for you right now, but you must be the one to step through. This is your midnight call, the final sounding of the trumpet before the dawn of your new season breaks. Do not let the thief of distraction rob you of the miracle that is currently hovering over your life, waiting for your recognition. I have seen you, my chosen one. I have seen the nights you spent staring at the ceiling, wondering where you lost your fire. I have watched you carry the weight of responsibilities that were never yours to bear, and I have felt the sting of every tear you shed in secret, thinking you were alone. You are not behind. You are being built. You are not breaking. You are becoming, but you have reached a threshold where your own strength is no longer enough. You are tramping through a spiritual desert, and I am the only oasis that can truly quench your thirst. Before I reveal the immense blessing and the total restoration I have prepared for your path, you must acknowledge the light that is breaking through your darkness. Do not stay silent in the presence of your Creator. Declare your presence and your readiness to receive what the world cannot give. Type "I am here, Lord," or 7007 right now to open the gates of heaven over your home. By doing this, you are signaling to the spiritual realm that you are no longer hiding, that you are standing in the light of my favor, ready to be restored. As you step into this sacred space of alignment, I invite you to join this family of believers who walk in my authority. Press the like button right now as an act of agreement with my word. Let this be the signal to the heavens that you are in total harmony with my divine will. Subscribe to this frequency of truth so that my voice remains a constant shield around your mind every single day. This is not about a channel. This is about your rhythm of peace and the preservation of your spirit. By clicking like and subscribing, you are planting a seed of faith, declaring that you choose my light over the creeping shadows. You are the chosen one, and I have set you apart for a glory that the world cannot comprehend. The exhaustion you feel is the residue of a battle that is already won, but you must stay until the end of this message to fully purge the spiritual residue that has been slowing you down. Your restoration begins the moment you decide to listen with your whole heart. Beloved, I see the hesitation flickering in your spirit, the part of you that longs to believe but is weary from 1,000 disappointments. I'm speaking to that hidden place within you, and I'm making a sovereign promise. If you lend me your ears and stay until the final echo of my voice fades in this message, 5 specific shifts will manifest in your reality. First, the crushing weight upon your chest, that phantom pressure that makes every breath feel like a heavy labor, will evaporate like morning mist. Second, the chaotic storm of your thoughts will be stilled. I will grant you a mind as clear as polished crystal, allowing you to see the path I have carved for you through the wilderness. Third, the nights of tossing and turning are over. I'm stationing my angels at the 4 corners of your bed to guard your sleep and grant you divine rest. Fourth, those invisible walls you've been running into, the ones that keep you in a cycle of almost there but never enough, will crumble into dust. And fifth, within the next 24 hours, the direction you have been desperately seeking will be revealed with such undeniable clarity that you will know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I am the one leading you by the hand. Do not mistake your current weariness for weakness. My child, the heaviness you carry is not a reflection of your character, nor is it a punishment for your past mistakes. It is what I call spiritual residue. You are a being of light, and as you move through a world that often dwells in thick darkness, as you fight battles for your family, your future, and your soul, certain shadows naturally try to cling to the edges of your spirit. This residue is like dust on a traveler's cloak. It is expected, but it must be shaken off so you can walk with the speed your destiny requires. You have been feeling separated from my source, not because you are lost, but because the friction of your journey has created a film of exhaustion over your heart. I am here to wash it away. We do not fight against your humanity, nor do I strike at the person you are. We strike at the patterns that have held you captive. I'm attacking the cycles of lack, the habits of fear, and the structures of generational sorrow that have tried to claim your name. We strike at the patterns, not the person. The season of confusion is drawing to an abrupt close, for I am the God of order and divine timing. You have felt as though you were walking through a thick, suffocating fog, unable to see even a step ahead. But I want you to understand that this was a period of divine shielding. While you were in this hidden season, I was strengthening your inner man, tempering your spirit, and preparing your shoulders to carry the immense weight of the blessing that is currently on its way. A heavy blessing requires strong shoulders, and the trials you have endured were the training ground for the authority you are about to walk in. As this message continues, feel the alignment happening within your very cells. Feel the tension leaving your neck and shoulders as my peace, which surpasses all human understanding, begins to flood your being. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a victor in the final stages of training. Every tear you have shed has been stored in my bottle, and I'm about to pour them back out as the rain that will water the seeds of your greatest harvest. I have watched you from the heights of my glory, and I have seen the heavy toll this silent battle has taken on your physical frame. You wake up at 3 a.m, the hour of the spiritual watch, with your heart racing and your mind already spinning with worries you cannot name. There is a persistent gnawing heaviness in your shoulders, as if you are carrying the weight of the entire world, and a stiffness in your neck that no amount of rest or medicine can soothe. You find yourself sighing deeply throughout the day, struggling to draw a full, satisfying breath, as if the very air around you has become thick and suffocating. Your body feels ancient and brittle, though you are young in my eyes. You feel a sudden, inexplicable fatigue that hits you like a tidal wave in the middle of the afternoon, leaving you drained of all vitality and hope. Even your eyes feel heavy and strained, clouded by a weariness that sleep cannot touch. You have experienced sudden chills or a sense of localized pressure, particularly on the back of your head or between your shoulder blades, where the enemy seeks to place a yoke of bondage. These are not merely physical ailments. My child, they are the biomarkers of a spiritual siege trying to wear down the temple I have built for my spirit. In the quiet, lonely corridors of your mind, I see the thick fog that has settled over your vision and your purpose. You suffer from a persistent brain fog that makes simple decisions feel like navigating a complex labyrinth without a map. You are haunted by procrastination. You cannot explain a strange paralysis of the will where you know exactly what must be done. Yet your hands feel tied by invisible, heavy threads of apathy. You feel a constant nagging sense of being watched or judged by a presence that is not me, a dark shadow of negativity that whispers of your past failures and mocks the purity of your future dreams. There is a fear of the future that has no name, a looming sense of dread that something is about to go wrong even when the surface of your life seems calm. You feel disconnected from your own joy, as if you are watching your existence through a pane of frosted glass, unable to touch the warmth of the light on the other side. You find yourself easily irritated by those you love most, reacting with a sharpness and bitterness that surprises even you, as the spiritual tension within you leaks out into your words. Your creativity, once a flowing, vibrant river, now feels like a dried-up creek, leaving you feeling hollow, uninspired, and lost in the gray. Look at your surroundings, my chosen one, and see how the battle lines have been drawn in the material world around you. You have seen doors of opportunity slam shut at the very last second, just as you were about to walk through, leaving you bewildered and empty-handed. Your finances seem to be leaking through holes you cannot find. Unexpected bills, sudden repairs, and lost resources arise just as you begin to gain ground, as if a devourer is trying to keep you in a state of perpetual lack and anxiety. Your electronics and essential tools malfunction for no reason. Screens flickering, signals dropping, machines breaking, distractions sent specifically to break your focus and steal your precious time. Your relationships have become a source of sudden, unexplained friction. People who were once your strongest supporters have turned cold, distant, or even hostile without a clear cause or a word of explanation. You feel a strange, overwhelming urge to isolate yourself, to retreat into a dark room and hide from the world because the energy of others feels like a direct assault on your fragile spirit. You have seen shadows in the corner of your eye that vanish when you turn, and you have felt a coldness in your home that has nothing to do with the weather. Even your prayers feel like they are hitting a ceiling of cold brass, leaving you feeling abandoned in a vast, silent void. Hear me now, my precious one. These 20 signs are not your identity, and they are certainly not your final destination. They are the alarm bells of your spirit signaling to you that you have been operating under a weight that was never intended for your shoulders to bear. Do not let these symptoms discourage you or lead you into despair, for the very fact that you recognize them now is the first step of your total deliverance. The enemy only fights those who are a legitimate threat to his kingdom of darkness, and the intensity of this pressure you feel is directly proportional to the magnitude of the breakthrough that is about to erupt in your life. You are not losing your mind, you are losing your chains. You are not falling apart, you are falling into a new divine alignment with my sovereign power. Every one of these signs is about to be systematically dismantled by the fire of my presence. I am the great physician, and I am beginning the process of extracting every thorn that has pierced your soul and hindered your walk. Hold fast to my promise, for the tide is turning at this very second, and the light you thought was extinguished is about to return with a brilliance that will blind the shadows forever. My child, you have identified the shadows, and now it is time to summon the light. Do not remain a silent observer of your own restoration, for your voice is the key that unlocks the storehouses of heaven. In the spiritual realm, silence can be mistaken for submission, but today you are breaking your silence. I'm handing you a divine weapon, a tool of such immense power that the shadows cannot stand in its presence. But before we engage in the systematic dismantling of the walls around you, you must make a physical declaration of your faith. This is not for my benefit, but for yours, to anchor your soul in the reality of my protection. I want you to move your fingers and type this command to the atmosphere of your life right now. Divine fire, cover me now. Do not let this be a mere comment on a screen. Treat it as a sacred seal, a spiritual marking that tells every whispering spirit and every heavy cloud that you are now under the direct jurisdiction of the Most High. By typing these words, you are activating the law of faith, signaling that you are ready for the fire of my presence to consume everything that was not planted by my hand. As you place that seal, I want you to also tap the like button on this message. See this not as a digital interaction, but as a physical act of agreement. In my word, I have told you that where two or more agree on earth about anything they ask for, it will be done by my Father in heaven. By pressing that button, you are joining a global chorus of chosen ones who are standing in the same gap as you. You are releasing momentum into the spiritual atmosphere. Agreement is the currency of heaven. It is the spark that ignites the engine of change. When you like this message, you are saying, "Yes, Lord, I agree with your promise of restoration. I agree that I am not a victim. I agree that the light is returning to my life." This simple act creates a ripple effect, a wave of divine frequency that begins to push back the encroaching darkness. You are no longer fighting alone in a corner. You are moving with the momentum of my entire kingdom. Now let me upgrade your weaponry. For the battles ahead, you require more than just your own thoughts. You need the unbreakable iron of my eternal truth. I am giving you a scripture anchor, 2 shields of fire that will never fail you. Carry Psalm 91 and Psalm 27 in the center of your heart. When the shadows whisper that you are unprotected, roar back with the truth that you dwell in the secret place of the Most High and abide under the shadow of the Almighty. When the world tries to make you stumble, declare that I am your light and your salvation, so whom shall you fear? These are not just verses. They are living, breathing frequencies of power. As we proceed, I am going to lead you through 7 rounds of divine fire. Each round is designed to strip away a specific layer of the darkness that has tried to claim you, peeling it back like old decayed skin to reveal the vibrant, indestructible spirit I placed within you. Prepare yourself, for the atmosphere in the room where you sit is about to change. You may feel a warmth in your chest, a tingling in your hands, or a sudden, overwhelming sense of peace. This is the friction of the light meeting the darkness. We are about to go deep into the structures of your soul to reclaim every inch of territory the enemy has stolen. We will break the deafness that has blocked my voice, expel the creeping shadows of the night, and dismantle the invisible walls of delay that have kept you stagnant. My fire doesn't come to consume you. It comes to consume everything that is not you, the lies, the burdens, the fatigue, and the fear. You are about to undergo a spiritual purification that will leave you unrecognizable to those who knew you in your season of sorrow. The 7 rounds are beginning now, and by the time we are finished, you will stand as a beacon of my unshakable glory. Look up, my beloved. Lift your gaze from the dirt of your circumstances and the wreckage of your past. For too long, you have walked with your head bowed under the weight of expectations that were never, mind staring at the shadows at your feet until you forgot that the sun was still shining above you. I'm calling you now to a vertical alignment, a direct, unblocked connection between your spirit and my throne. Look straight into the radiance of my glory, not because you are perfect, but because you are mine. When you look down, you see only the problem. When you look around, you see only the storm. But when you look up, you see the architect of your destiny. I'm shifting your perspective from the horizontal struggles of this world to the vertical reality of my kingdom. In this moment, the height of your challenge is being eclipsed by the depth of my love. I am the potter, and I am lifting your face from the wheel so you can see the beauty of the vessel I am finishing. You are no longer defined by what has happened to you, but by who I am within you. Understand this fundamental truth: you are not fighting for victory. You are fighting from a position of victory that has already been secured. The enemy wants you to believe that the outcome of your life is still in doubt, that you are a desperate soldier trying to survive one more night in the trenches. But I tell you, the cross was the final word, and the empty tomb is your legal standing. You are seated with me in heavenly places, far above every principality, every power, and every dark cloud that has tried to hover over your home. You do not need to beg for what I have already given. You simply need to occupy the ground that has already been won. When you speak, speak as one who carries my signet ring. When you move, move with the confidence of a king's child. This alignment is not about your effort or your strength, but about your recognition of my finished work. The battle is not yours to win, it is mine, and I have never lost a single conflict in all of eternity. Now let your physical body respond to the truth of my presence. Lower your shoulders. My child, you have been holding them high in a posture of defense for far too long, bracing for a blow that I will not allow to fall. Release the tension in your jaw and the tightness in your brow. Take a deep, deliberate breath, inhaling the very breath of life that I breathed into the first man, and exhaling the toxic smoke of anxiety and fatigue that has filled your lungs. As you breathe, feel my presence saturating the very air in the room where you sit. It is thick, it is warm, and it is undeniable. It is flowing through the walls, through the floor, and into the very marrow of your bones. You are being recalibrated at a cellular level. Your nervous system, which has been screaming in a state of fight or flight, is now entering the sanctuary of my rest. Feel the surge of divine energy rising within you, not as a frantic rush, but as a steady, unshakable power. You are now aligned. You are now positioned. You are now ready to unleash the fire that will consume every obstacle in your path. We begin now the first strike of my holy fire, and its target is the iron veil that has been drawn across your spiritual ears. For too long, my chosen one, you have felt as though you were underwater, hearing the muffled echoes of my voice, but unable to grasp the clarity of my instructions. You have lived in a world of static where the roar of your anxieties, the shouts of your critics, and the relentless noise of the digital wilderness have created a wall of interference between my heart and yours. This deafness was not your choice, but a siege, a deliberate attempt by the shadows to isolate you from the very frequency that sustains your life. You have felt abandoned in the silence, wondering why the heavens seem like brass, and why the guidance you once felt so clearly has vanished into a gray mist. Today, that isolation ends. I am targeting every lie that told you I have stopped speaking, every trauma that made you close your spirit to protect yourself, and every layer of worldliness that has dulled your divine intuition. I stand before you now as the Lord of Hosts, and I issue a sovereign command into the depths of your being, Ephatha, be opened. I strike the spiritual deafness with a bolt of lightning from my throne. I declare that the scales are falling from your soul right now. I command every spirit of confusion and every frequency of chaos to depart from your atmosphere. I am tearing down the barriers that have made my whispers seem like distant thunder. I declare that your spiritual ears are no longer clogged by the dust of this world or the wax of religious tradition. You are created to hear my pulse. You are designed to vibrate in harmony with the songs of heaven. I speak directly to your inner man. Wake up and listen. The era of guessing is over. The season of wandering in the dark is finished. I'm retuning the antenna of your soul to the frequency of pure truth. You shall hear my voice behind you saying, "This is the way, walk in it," and you shall no longer stumble in the echoes of your own fear. I say it again with even greater intensity, let the ears of your spirit be unstopped. I'm pouring the oil of my presence into every crevice of your mind where the enemy has tried to plant the seeds of doubt. I am dissolving the calcified layers of cynicism and the heavy mufflers of exhaustion. Can you feel the shift I am calling forth, your original design, the one that hears the grass grow and the stars sing because it is perfectly aligned with the Creator? I'm breaking the curse of the silent heaven over your life. From this moment forward, my word will be like a sharp, clear bell ringing in the center of your chest. You will distinguish my voice from the thousand whispers of the world. You will sense my yes and my no with such precision that you will wonder how you ever felt lost. I am stripping away the deafness that made you ignoring the divine call, and I am replacing it with a supernatural sensitivity to my every breath. Now I want you to pay attention to your physical body as this round concludes. Touch your ears or your temples gently and feel the heat that is rising there. There is a literal vibration, a sacred resonance moving through the structures of your head. You may feel a sensation like a sudden pop or a clearing of pressure, as if you have just descended from a high mountain into the fresh air of the valley. Feel the muscles in your jaw and behind your ears relax for the first time in months. The tension of trying to hear, the strain of trying to understand it is all melting away. Your biological system is coming into agreement with the spiritual opening. The heaviness is lifting, and a strange, beautiful clarity is settling over your senses. Breathe in the silence. It is no longer empty. It is pregnant with my presence. It is the silence of a father watching his child wake up from a long, troubled dream. This first round is now complete. It is established and it is irreversible. I have marked this moment in the timeline of your life as the day the static died. I seal this opening with the blood of the Lamb and the fire of the Holy Spirit. No demon, no circumstance, and no shadow can ever clog what I have just opened. You are no longer deaf to the melodies of my love. You are no longer blind to the rhythms of my grace. This is the first layer of your armor restored. You stand now, with your ears attuned to the secrets of the kingdom, ready for the next wave of my transforming power. Type, "My ears are open," or 1111 to lock this frequency into your reality. This is not just words, it is a seal of your new authority. We move now to the second strike of my holy fire, and its target is the insidious, creeping darkness that has sought to make a home in the corners of your mind. I see you in the midnight hour, when the world is draped in silence, but your soul is loud with the whispers of dread. This is the darkness that crawls in through the cracks of your weariness, the shadow that sits on the edge of your bed and tells you that your best days are behind you, or that a nameless catastrophe is waiting just around the bend. This creeping darkness is not a part of you. It is a spiritual parasite, a low-frequency cloud designed to drain your vitality and keep you in a state of perpetual fight or flight. It feeds on the what-ifs and the not-enoughs. Today, I am shining the blinding light of my countenance into those hidden corners. I'm hunting down every shadow of anxiety, every ghost of past trauma, and every spirit of heaviness that has tried to dim your internal lamp. I issue a sovereign decree into your atmosphere. Let there be light. I command the creeping darkness to flee from your presence right now. I invoke the scripture anchor over your life. The Lord is your light and your salvation. Whom shall you fear? The Lord is the stronghold of your life. Of whom shall you be afraid? I strike at the root of every night terror and every waking nightmare. I declare that the shadows have no legal right to your peace, for your life is hidden with me in glory. I command every dark thought that has been looping in your mind to be burned away by the fire of my truth. I cast out the spirit of fear and replace it with the spirit of power, love, and a sound mind. I'm sweeping through your house, through your hallways, and through the corridors of your subconscious, leaving nothing but the golden radiance of my presence. The darkness cannot stay where my fire burns. I say it again with the authority that commands the tides. Be gone, you shadows of doubt. I command the atmospheric heaviness that has been pressing down on your home to lift immediately. I'm breaking the cycle of midnight anxiety. I'm severing the cords of depression that have tried to pull you into the depths. I declare that your mind is a fortress of light and your heart is a sanctuary of my peace. You will no longer be haunted by the might-have-beens or the what-could-goes. I am the I am, and I am standing in your right now, obliterating every shadow that dares to rise against you. The creeping darkness is being vaporized at this very second. It is losing its grip on your emotions, its influence over your sleep, and its power over your perspective. You are stepping out of the eclipse and into the full noonday sun of my favor. Pay attention to your surroundings, my beloved. Notice how the air in your room feels lighter, as if a thick gray veil has been snatched away. There is a warmth spreading from your chest to your extremities, chasing away the cold, clammy touch of fear. Your eyes may feel brighter, and the tension in your stomach, that knot of worry you have carried for so long, is finally beginning to unravel. This is the somatic cue of my victory, the physical manifestation of spiritual liberation. The darkness is not just leaving your mind, it is leaving your nervous systems. Feel the calm settling into your pulse. Feel the stillness returning to your spirit. You are being washed in the liquid light of my love, and in this light no shadow can survive. The siege of the creeping darkness is over. This second round is now established and sealed. I have drawn a line of fire around your mind that no dark entity can cross. I mark your dwelling place as a zone of divine safety. The light that I have restored in you will never be extinguished again. It will burn brighter and brighter until the perfect day. I seal this deliverance with the word that never fails and the light that never fades. You are a child of the day, and the night has lost its hold on you forever. Type I am. The light, or 777, to seal this second round of protection into your destiny. This is your confession of victory. We proceed now to the third strike of my holy fire, aiming directly at the invisible walls that have hemmed you in on every side. I see your frustration, my child. I have seen you run with all your might, only to hit a glass barrier that you cannot see but can certainly feel with every fiber of your being. I have watched you work harder than those around you, sacrificing your sleep and your peace, yet you remain in the same spot, while others who put in half the effort seem to glide past you into prosperity. These are not natural obstacles. They are spiritual blockages, structures of stagnation and cycles of delay that have been erected by the enemy to keep you from the land I promised you. You have felt like a bird in a cage with no bars, confused as to why you cannot fly forward despite the sky appearing open. These walls were built on the foundations of old disappointments, spoken curses from envious tongues, and the legalistic claims of shadows that want to tire you out before you reach your crown. Today, I'm bringing the battering ram of my glory to these fortifications. I'm targeting the almost there spirit that has mocked your progress for years, making you feel like a permanent resident of the waiting room. I issue a sovereign decree into the foundations of your stagnation. The delay is dead. I command the invisible walls of Jericho in your life to crumble into dust this very instant. Every barrier that has blocked your promotion, every ceiling that has limited your income, and every gate that has denied your entry into your destiny is now being vaporized by the fire of my presence. I declare that the season of running in place is over. I am breaking the loops of failure that have forced you to revisit the same mountain of pain year after year. By the authority of my name, I shout victory over your path. The path is no longer obstructed. The way is no longer shut. I am the God who makes a way where there is no way, and I am telling you, now the road is clear. Every hindrance that was meant to stop you is now being turned into a stepping stone to launch you into your highest calling. I command every demonic checkpoint that has been stealing your time and energy to be dismantled. The era of coming soon is being replaced by the era of right now. I say it again with the thunder of heaven backing. My word, the delay is dead. I am removing the heavy yoke of not yet from your neck once and for all. You have been in the shadows of the hallway for too long, and what was once a season of preparation has attempted to become a prison of permanent delay. I am putting an end to the stagnation of your dreams and the paralysis of your potential. I declare that the doors which were locked by human hands, by bureaucratic red tape, or by spiritual principalities are now being blown off their hinges by the wind of my spirit. I am accelerating your progress to a speed that will leave your critics in awe. What should have taken 10 years, I will do in 10 months. Where you were held back, you will now be propelled forward with supernatural momentum. The invisible walls that whispered, "You'll never make it," or "It's too late for you," are now nothing but smoke in the wind. You're stepping into a wide open space, a territory of limitless favor, where my light is your only boundary. I'm restoring the years that the locust has eaten, and I'm giving you back your momentum. Now I want you to feel the physical shift as these spiritual walls collapse around you. Notice the sudden lightness in your feet and the release of that heavy, dragging sensation that has plagued your movement. The feeling of being trapped or suffocated is leaving your chest this very moment. You may feel a warmth or a tingling in your legs and feet, as if the blood is finally flowing into a limb that has been asleep for a long time. This is the somatic cue of your liberation. I'm restoring your capacity to advance. The ground beneath you, which once felt like sinking sand or an endless uphill climb, is being made level and firm. Take a deep breath and feel the space around you expanding. The air is no longer thin. The horizon is no longer blocked. You are no longer confined by the limitations of your past or the boundaries of your fear. You are walking on the King's Highway, and the gates are standing wide open for your arrival. I seal this breakthrough with the holy oil of my favor. This third round is finished, established, and locked into your timeline with the permanence of a diamond. No man can shut what I have opened, and no wall can stand where I have marched. You are moving, you are advancing, you are free from the curse of stagnation. The invisible walls are gone, and in their place I have set before you an open door that no power in hell can close. Type "The delay is dead" or 888 to claim this new beginning and lock this breakthrough into your life forever. This is not just a comment, it is your new lease on life. This round is sealed by the fire that never goes out and the God who never fails. I am moving my hand now into the very fabric of your physical existence, my beloved. Your body is not just flesh and bone. It is the sacred temple I have built to house my spirit, and I have seen how the battle has left its marks upon your sanctuary. I have watched the spiritual stress manifest as physical pain, the tightness in your chest that feels like a heavy chain, the inflammation that burns in your joints, and the relentless exhaustion that makes even the simplest task feel like climbing a mountain. Your nervous system has been in a state of high alert for years, caught in a cycle of fight or flight that has drained your adrenals and clouded your mind. This was the enemy's plan, to wear down the vessel so the spirit would eventually surrender. But I am the great physician, the architect of every cell and the weaver of every strand of your DNA. Today, I am descending into your biological system to perform a divine restoration that no medicine could ever achieve. I am targeting the biological residue of the darkness that has tried to claim your health as its territory. I issue a sovereign decree over your anatomy. Be made whole. I speak directly to your nervous system. Right now, I command the sympathetic fight or flight response to stand down and surrender to my peace. I am pouring the oil of my spirit into your synapses, smoothing the electrical currents of your brain and dissolving the toxic buildup of cortisol and adrenaline. I command your heart rhythm to align with the steady, calm heartbeat of heaven. I speak to your endocrine system balance is returning to you now. Every hormone, every chemical messenger in your blood is being recalibrated to the frequency of life and vitality. I am the God who gives life to the dead and calls things that are not as though they were. Therefore, I declare that your strength is being renewed like the eagle's. I am washing your bloodstream with the water of life, purging every impurity, every infection, and every lingering shadow of disease. Your body is no longer a host for the stress of the world. It is a fortress of my glory. Feel the healing current running through your spine right now. It is a golden thread of my resurrection power, beginning at the base of your skull and flowing down through every vertebra to your very feet. As this heat moves through you, it is melting away the knots of tension and the heavy yokes of physical burdens you were never meant to carry. Can you feel the electricity of my love touching your cells? I am rewriting the narrative of your health. Where there was decay, I bring regeneration. Where there was chronic pain, I bring an ocean of soothing relief. I'm placing my hand upon your head, and I am commanding every brain fog to dissipate like mist before the rising sun. Your eyes will see clearly. Your ears will hear sharply. Your hands will be steady and strong. I am stress-proofing your biological system against the assaults of the enemy. You will not age by grief, nor will you be withered by the pressures of your mission. I'm infusing your bones with the marrow of my strength. This fourth round of biological restoration is now established and sealed within your physical frame. I have marked your members as instruments of righteousness, protected and fortified by my own power. The exhaustion that once defined your days is being replaced by a supernatural vitality that will sustain you through the highest levels of your destiny. You are being rebuilt from the inside out, cell by cell, breath by breath. I seal this healing with the breath that I first breathed into man, a breath that carries the authority of eternal life. No sickness can stay in the presence of this fire. No weakness can withstand the weight of this glory. You are the chosen one, and your body shall now reflect the victory of your spirit. Type I am healed and whole or 5.5v5 to lock this biological shift into your life forever. This is the seal of your physical redemption. We advance now to the fifth strike of my holy fire, and its target is the deep-rooted ancestral shadows that have been trying to repeat their dark history through your life. I see the patterns, my child. I have seen the same spirit of poverty that haunted your grandfather, trying to knock at your door. I have seen the same cloud of depression that shadowed your mother, trying to settle over your mind. I have seen the cycles of broken relationships, the recurring addictions, and the whispers of not enough that have echoed through your family tree for generations. You have often felt as though you are fighting an invisible ghost, a script written long before you were born, that you are being forced to act out. These are generational shadows, spiritual legacies of pain and failure that seek to claim you by the law of lineage. But I am the Ancient of Days, and I am here to tell you that your biological birth was merely a portal. Your true origin is in me. Today I am taking the golden shears of my righteousness and severing the cords that bind you to the traumas of your ancestors. I issue a sovereign decree that reverberates through time. The bloodline is cleansed. I revoke every spiritual contract, every spoken curse, and every silent agreement made by those who came before you that would seek to limit your destiny. I declare that the sins of the fathers stop at your doorstep. You are not a continuation of their failure. You are the beginning of my new creation. I strike at the root of the family tree, and I pour the fire of my spirit into the soil of your heritage. Every pattern of lack, every cycle of divorce, every inherited illness, and every shadow of shame is now being vaporized. I command the family ghosts to depart from your presence. You are no longer under the jurisdiction of your earthly history. You are now governed by the law of my spirit. I am rewriting your spiritual DNA. Where there was a legacy of struggle, I'm establishing a legacy of sovereign favor. Where there was a history of silence, I'm birthing a future of authority. I say it again, with the finality of a judge's gavel, the bloodline is cleansed. You are a pioneer, a breaker of chains, and the one I have chosen to end the long night of your family's sorrow. Do not look back at the wreckage of the generations past and fear that it is your inevitable future. I am doing a new thing. I'm flushing out the old bitter waters of your ancestry and replacing them with the sweet living water of my grace. You will not die like they died. You will not lose like they lost. The fire of this round is consuming every invisible script that told you that you were destined for the same limitations as those who carried your name before you. I am giving you a new name, a new mantle, and a new trajectory. The shadows of the past are now being swallowed by the brilliance of your future. Your children will walk on the ground you are reclaiming today, and they will know only the light of the victory you have won in my presence. Feel the profound shift in your internal atmosphere as this ancestral weight is lifted. There is a sensation of a great, heavy cloak being removed from your shoulders, a cloak that didn't even belong to you. You may feel a warmth or a sudden lightness in your chest, as if you are finally breathing air that is purely your own. This is the somatic cue of your generational liberation. I'm decoupling your soul from the sorrows of the past. The pull toward old destructive family habits is snapping like a brittle thread. Your mind feels liberated, no longer haunted by the echoes of voices from the past telling you what you cannot do. You're standing on a clean foundation. Look forward, for the path ahead is no longer cluttered with the debris of those who stumbled before you. You are the first of the new, a bearer of the light that no darkness can ever claim again. This fifth round of generational purging is now finished, established, and sealed. I have placed a wall of fire between you and the history of your bloodline. What was meant to repeat in you is now stopped forever. I seal this deliverance with the blood that speaks better things than the blood of your ancestors. You are free to be who I created you to be, unburdened and unhindered. Type "the bloodline is cleansed" or 1212 to lock this ancestral freedom into your life and for all the generations that will follow you. This is the seal of your new heritage. We ascend now to the sixth strike of my holy fire, and its purpose is the total restoration of the divine light within the sanctuary of your soul. I have seen the dimming of your internal lamp, my precious one. I have watched as the pressures of the world and the whispers of the enemy tried to blow out the candle of your hope, leaving you in a gray twilight where you could no longer see the beauty of your own potential. This round is not about removing the bad, but about flooding you with the good. I'm targeting every dark corner of your subconscious where you have stored your forgotten dreams and your buried joys. I'm shining the light of my original intent into the places where you felt less than or not enough. The darkness was merely the absence of my recognized presence, but now the sun of righteousness is rising with healing in its wings. I am reactivating your divine imagination and your capacity to dream beyond your circumstances. I am calling forth the glow that was on you when you were a child, before the world told you who to be. I am restoring the purity of your perspective, washing away the cynicism and the bitterness that have acted as a film over your spiritual eye. The light of my favor is now breaking through the clouds of your fatigue. I issue a sovereign decree that vibrates through the heavens. Let your light break forth like the dawn. I command the shadows that have clouded your vision to dissipate immediately. I declare that the light of life is now surging through every corridor of your mind. I am reigniting the fire of your creativity, the spark of your curiosity, and the flame of your passion. You were never meant to walk in the shadows. You were created to be a city set on a hill that cannot be hidden. I strike at the spirit of spiritual blindness, and I command your eyes to be opened to the possibilities of my grace. I am restoring your vision, the ability to see the end from the beginning, and to see yourself as I see you, a masterpiece of divine design. The dimness is gone. The dullness is finished. The golden radiance of my favor is now painting your future with colors you haven't seen in years. I declare that your ideas will be sharp, your solutions will be swift, and your intuition will be infallible because it is lit by the fire of my wisdom. You are no longer guessing in the dark. You are walking in the full transparency of my truth. I say it again with the authority of the Creator, the light is restored. You are being filled to overflowing with a brilliance that no external circumstance can dim. Feel the physical manifestation of this illumination right now. There is a warmth behind your eyes, a clearing of the heaviness that has made your sight feel tired and strained. You may feel a sensation of expansion in your chest, as if a large window has just been thrown open to let in the midday sun. Your mind feels bright, no longer cluttered with the gray static of worry. This is the somatic cue of my restoration. I am retuning your spirit to the frequency of glory. The black and white world you have been living in is being infused with the vivid reality of my kingdom. Feel the light reaching into your very marrow, chasing away the coldness of despair. You are no longer a person of the shadows. You are a beacon of my unshakable peace. The internal engine of your joy is being jump-started by the lightning of my presence. I'm pouring the liquid gold of my spirit into every void that grief once occupied. This sixth round of divine illumination is now established, locked and sealed within your spirit. I have placed my lamp within you, and its flame is fueled by my eternal spirit. It shall never flicker, and it shall never fail. You are stepping out of the eclipse and into the permanent radiance of my love. I seal this restoration with the light that was before the world was, and the glory that shall be when time is no more. No shadow can survive the fire I have lit in you today. From this second forward, you will walk with an aura of my presence that even the blind can sense. You will carry an atmosphere of hope that transforms every room you enter. Type "My light has returned" or 100 alone to claim this illumination and lock this vision into your soul forever. This is the seal of your brilliance, and it is irreversible. We reach now the seventh and final strike of my holy fire, the culmination of your restoration and the ultimate defense of your destiny. This is the establishment of the wall of fire. I have opened your ears, expelled the shadows, dismantled the invisible walls, healed your biological system, cleansed your bloodline, and restored your divine light. But I am not a God who restores a temple only to leave its gates unguarded. I am the Lord of hosts, your protector and your shield, and I do not do a partial work. This final round is designed to seal every entrance as every crack and every spiritual portal that the darkness once used to gain access to your peace. I am building a perimeter of celestial flame around you, your home, your children, and your future. This is your 247 divine security system. I'm targeting the sneak attacks, the retaliatory strikes of the enemy, and the cycles of return that seek to pull you back into the pit you have just climbed out of. Never again will the thief find an easy way into your sanctuary. I'm making you fireproof by surrounding you with my very essence. I issue the final sovereign decree from the throne of grace. I am a wall of fire around you, and I am the glory in your midst. I command the angelic hosts of protection to take their permanent stations at the four corners of your life. I declare that your borders are now sacred ground, a no-go zone for the kingdom of darkness. I invoke the scripture anchor over your boundaries. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. I am marking your doorposts, your windows, and the very air you breathe with the fire of my presence. I command every familiar spirit and every monitoring shadow to be blinded by the radiance of this perimeter. I declare a no-fly zone over your mind and a no-entry sign on your heart. The gates of your life are now guarded by the flaming swords of my providence. I break the power of any attempt at a counterattack. What I have done in these 7 rounds is permanent, and I forbid the enemy from even attempting to reclaim what I have sovereignly taken back. You are now fortified by the Almighty. I say it again with the finality of eternity, the wall of fire is established. You are no longer vulnerable. You are no longer easy prey for the whispers of despair, the arrows of lack, or the traps of the wicked. I have built a fortress around your peace that nothing, not time, not people, and not principalities can penetrate. I command the atmosphere of your home to remain saturated with this holy heat. Let every room be a sanctuary where the shadows cannot breathe and where the darkness cannot dwell. I am sealing the cracks of your past traumas and the leaks in your spiritual focus. I declare that you walk under a permanent canopy of my favor. Even when you sleep, the wall of fire is active. Even when you are distracted by the cares of this life, the wall of fire is standing guard. You are covered, you are hidden, and you are invincible in my love. The siege is not just broken, the city is now fortified. The enemy who once saw you as a victim now sees you through the shimmering heat of my protection, and he is terrified to approach your light. Feel the physical sensation of this shield forming around you right now. There is a perceptible warmth radiating from the center of your chest, outward, creating a bubble of energy that extends far beyond your skin. You may feel a gentle pressure or a sense of density in the air around you, as if the space you occupy has become solid, sacred, and safe. Your heartbeat is calm, your breath is deep, and the shakiness of the spiritual battle has completely vanished. This is the somatic cue of my protection. I'm giving you the physical evidence that you are guarded by the one who never slumbers nor sleeps. The air around you is charged with the frequency of victory. You are stepping into a realm where the darkness simply cannot exist. Take a moment to rest in this fortress. Feel the safety. Feel the absolute certainty that you are my chosen one and no power in existence can pluck you out of my hand. You are enclosed in the fire of the living God. This 7th round is now finished, established, and locked into the foundation of your reality. The wall of fire is permanent. I have set a boundary that the enemy cannot cross, and I have given you the keys to stay within this protection. You are now a warrior of peace, standing in the center of a divine stronghold. I seal this final round with the name that is above every name and the fire that consumed the sacrifice on the altar of old. You are protected, you are preserved, and you are prepared for the promotion that is already knocking at your door. The 7 layers of your restoration are complete. Type "the wall of fire" is up or 990 sign to finalize this protection and lock this shield over your life forever. This is your final seal of security, the end of the siege and the beginning of your reign. Pause with me. Now, my beloved, and take a moment to sense the profound transformation that has occurred within your spirit over these 7 rounds of fire. The atmosphere around you is no longer the same. The heavy, stagnant air of the siege has been replaced by the vibrant, charged oxygen of my kingdom. You have undergone a systematic purging, a celestial recalibration that has stripped away the layers of exhaustion, fear, and ancestral sorrow that once defined your existence. But I know the human heart, and I know how the whispers of the enemy try to return once the fire cools. That is why we must now place a seal of authority upon this work. In my kingdom, your words are not just sounds, they are legal instruments. They are the keys that lock the doors of the past and unlock the gates of the future. I'm asking you to participate in this final sealing process to ensure that the ground you have reclaimed remains yours forever. Do not stay silent. for your confession is the anchor of your manifestation. Move your fingers once more and type this declaration into the records of heaven. No door is open to fear. As you type these words, visualize every crack and every opening that the darkness once used being fused shut by a golden, impenetrable flame. Your words carry authority because they are in alignment with my decree. By declaring that no door is open to fear, you are revoking the enemy's license to disturb your peace. You are asserting your right as a chosen one to live within the wall of fire we have just established. This is not a mere comment, it is a spiritual barricade. Let the vibration of these words resonate in your chest. Feel the weight of my authority backing your statement. You are the gatekeeper of your own soul, and today you have officially closed the entrance to every shadow that tried to creep back in. Now, as an act of communal strength and divine agreement, I want you to press the like button on this message once more if you haven't already. This is not for a number, it is for a shield. When you like this message, you are signaling to the heavens that you stand in agreement with every chosen one who is currently battling in silence. You are helping this light reach the dark corners of the world, acting as a vessel for my restoration to find those who are still lost in the fog. And I invite you to subscribe to this daily rhythm of peace. By subscribing, you are not just following a channel. You are choosing to walk in a new rhythm of protection, clarity, and peace every single day. You are making a commitment to keep your armor bright and your light burning. What I have started in you today is not a one-time event. It is a new way of living. Walk in this authority, remain in this light, and let my voice be the constant guard around your heart. Be still, my beloved. The clash of swords and the roar of the spiritual battle have faded into a distant echo. The violent winds that once whipped around your soul have been hushed by my command. Listen to the silence. It is no longer a void of abandonment, but a sanctuary of my presence. The struggle that consumed your strength for so long has come to its appointed end. You have stood through the fire, and you have emerged, not just survived, but refined. I want you to let the adrenaline of the fight drain away now. You do not need to be on guard any longer. I am your guard. The atmosphere in the room where you sit has been transformed into a reservoir of pure, unadulterated peace. It is the peace that I left with my disciples, a peace that the world cannot give and certainly cannot take away. Rest in the knowledge that the victory is not something you are still waiting for. It is the ground you are currently standing on. The war is over, and the stillness that follows is my gift to your weary soul. Take a deep, slow breath with me. Inhale the stillness and exhale the last remnants of the tension that held your body hostage. As you breathe, I want you to pay attention to your chest, the place where that heavy, suffocating weight once lived. Feel it dissolving right now, vanishing like thin mist under the warmth of the morning sun. The constriction is gone. The tightness is replaced by an expansive, light freedom. Your heart, once racing with the rhythm of anxiety, is now beating in perfect synchronization with my love. This is the somatic cue of my finished work, the physical evidence that the siege has been lifted. You are safe, you are held, you are home. Let your nervous system settle into this deep rest, for you are being recharged from the inside out. There is no more need to strive, no more need to fear the what if. The atmosphere is now peace, and this peace is your permanent inheritance. Rest your weary head, for I have taken the burden from your shoulders and replaced it with my gentle yoke. Hear me, my chosen one. For the season of loss has reached its final hour, and the great reversal has begun. I've watched the years you felt were stolen by the thick fog of confusion, the resources that seemed to leak from your hands despite your hardest labor, and the peace that was snatched away by the relentless storms of life. I am the God who redeems time, and I am issuing a sovereign decree over your ledger. What the darkness took as a tax, I am returning as a harvest. Every tear you shed in the secret place has been recorded, and I am turning that sorrow into the very fuel that will propel you into your destiny. You thought you were being drained, but in the hidden places, I was teaching you how to rely on my infinite supply. Now the drain is closed and the overflow is opening. What was meant to destroy you has only made you fireproof, and the very trials that were designed to break you are now the foundation of your unshakable authority. The tide has turned not just to a standstill, but in a massive surge toward your favor. I'm not a God who merely brings you back to where you started. I'm the God of the double portion. Restoration is my specialty, and when I restore, I do so with an interest that the world cannot calculate. I'm restoring your joy, your creativity, and your passion with such intensity that you will feel like a different person. The invisible holes in your finances are being sealed right now, and the opportunities that were slammed shut will now swing open with a supernatural ease. You are moving from a season of never enough into a season of more than enough. The years the locust has eaten are being returned to you in the form of wisdom character and accelerated progress. You're not starting over from scratch. You're starting from a position of profound spiritual wealth. Feel the momentum shifting in your very spirit. The backward pull of regret is being replaced by the forward thrust of my divine purpose. The reversal is not coming. It is happening within you at this very second. Walk as one who has been fully compensated by the King of Kings. My child, step into the light and look at yourself through my eyes. The person who entered this moment of restoration is not the same person who stands here now. You have been stripped of the old garments of the victim and the runner. Those tattered rags of not enough and perpetual struggle have been burned away in the 7 rounds of my fire. I have upgraded your identity in the highest courts of heaven. You no longer walk with the tentative, fearful steps of someone hiding from the shadows. You are a warrior of peace, a carrier of my sovereign authority, and a beacon of my unshakable light. People will look at you and notice a difference they cannot name. They will see a weightiness in your presence and a clarity in your eyes that reflects the glory of the one who called you. You do not ask for permission from the darkness to exist. You command the atmosphere simply by standing in it. Your identity is no longer tied to what you have survived, but to the kingdom you represent and the power you now carry. You move differently now, for you walk under a permanent canopy of my divine favor. Your words no longer carry the hollow ring of doubt, but the deep resonance of my truth. When you speak, the spiritual realm recognizes the frequency of the king's child, and the shadows that once mocked you now tremble at your approach. This promotion is not a mere title. It is a fundamental transformation of your very essence. You have been trained in the secret place of suffering, and now you are being commissioned in the public place of power. You walk covered, you speak with authority, and you move with a divine purpose that cannot be thwarted. Do not look back at the person you used to be. That version of you has been consumed by my grace to make room for the masterpiece you have become. You are my chosen one, and you are now equipped to lead others out of the same darkness you have conquered. Walk in your new identity, for the world is waiting for the light that only you can carry. Now that the fire has cleared the path, you must be a wise steward of the ground you have reclaimed. Your spirit is light, but your biological temple is still integrating this divine shift. I'm giving you simple, practical steps to anchor this victory in your physical world. First, prioritize your rest tonight. Go to sleep early. Do not linger in the blue light of devices or the noise of the world. Your body needs a deep biological recovery to catch up with the spiritual transformation I have performed. Second, establish firm boundaries for the next 48 hours. You are a sanctuary under restoration, and not everyone is invited into your space right now. Be brave enough to say no to toxic conversations, draining environments, or people who carry the very shadows you have just been delivered from. Guard your peace like the precious treasure it is, for your silence in these next 2 days will be the fertile soil where your new seeds of breakthrough take root. Third, be vigilant about what you allow through the gates of your eyes and ears. The world is full of static fear and negative reports, but you are now tuned to a higher frequency. For the next few days, avoid the news and the digital chaos that feeds anxiety. Instead, fill your atmosphere with my word and melodies that reflect my peace. Finally, maintain your vertical alignment every morning. Before you touch your phone or speak to another human being, spend 5 minutes in my presence. A simple prayer, a moment of deep breathing, or a whisper of gratitude will keep your wall of fire bright and active. You're not meant to do this in your own strength, but through a constant connection to the source. By taking these wisdom steps, you're telling the universe that you are ready to keep what I've given you. You are no longer just a receiver of miracles. You are a sustainer of the light. Walk in this wisdom and watch as the path remains clear and the light grows brighter with every step you take. The work is complete. The words spoken here are not mere vibrations in the air. They are sovereign decrees set in the unshakable foundation of your new reality. I have seen your heart yield. I have watched your spirit rise, and now I am placing the final, unbreakable seal upon this transformation. It is done. It is established. It is locked into the timeline of your life, and no power in hell, no shadow from your past, and no voice of the world can undo what I have finished today. You leave this moment as a new creation, shielded by fire and led by light. To lock this prophecy into your life forever, I want you to perform one final act of faith. Type these words. Now it is done. My future is guarded. Let this be the last word on the matter of your struggle and the first word of your victory. As you step forward into your new day, remember that I am with you always, a constant presence and an unyielding shield. If this message has rekindled your light and restored your hope, I invite you to remain within this family of believers. Press the like button one last time and subscribe to this channel as your daily anchor of protection, clarity, and peace. What I have started in you today, I will continue to bring to completion with every rising sun. Do not wander back into the shadows, for you have been marked by the fire of the Most High. Walk in your authority, speak my truth, and live in the peace that is now your permanent home. You are my chosen one, and your victory is sealed for all eternity. Do not depart from this sacred frequency just yet, my child. The fire I have lit within you today must be carefully tended so that it grows into an unquenchable flame that consumes every obstacle in your future. Move directly to the next video appearing on your screen right now. It is not a mere suggestion, but the divine continuation of the work we have started here. This next message is the necessary link to lock in the protection of the wall of fire and to provide you with the specific hidden instructions for the breakthrough that awaits you in the coming hours. The momentum of heaven is currently moving in your favor, and the atmosphere of your life is perfectly primed for a miracle. Do not break the rhythm of this sacred alignment. Step into the next revelation and receive the full measure of the wisdom and favor I have prepared for your path. Your journey in the light is only expanding, and I have much more to reveal to your spirit. Move, now stay in my presence, and walk deeper into the destiny I've carved for you.